Hey everyone, Sophia here. Welcome back to another episode of the Laundry Room Makeover. This is 10. Today I'm actually going to do two videos. The first one I'm finishing the frame I did on the window, and then the next one I'm doing the curtains. So if you remember from yesterday, I put a frame in front of those two windows. It serves no other purposes but to make the windows less ugly. The curtains themselves, because I had a question about that, serve no purpose whatsoever other than being decorative items, because I already have the film on the windows and it's basement windows, so it's really not something that, you know, it really doesn't matter whether I have curtains or not, but I'm just putting them up with the other window to kind of like spruce up the room and make it look a little bit prettier. That was the goal. The goal was not to do a renovation but to do a makeover so that the room doesn't look so hideous. Alright, so yesterday I put the wreath that I have right there on the window and actually on the door, and I actually like it. Might be a little bit, but you know what, I'm just again sprucing up the room. So this is what I did so far. So this is the frame I did yesterday, and it is all dried up from the wood putty and caulk I put on. I just wanted to show you that it is, I got my shadow in, it's leveled on the side and it is leveled on the side, so I'm pretty happy with that. To be honest, I don't know if the windows are leveled. So today all I want to do for this video is sand the whole piece and use the primer, because again, like I mentioned yesterday, this is pine, so there's some knots which I've patched already, but I want to make sure that I really cover the knots that are on the pine, because there's always sap coming through, and when you paint and you don't prime, what happens is that over time you start seeing those little yellow ring on the paint, and I want to avoid that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to paint it, and then once that's dry and everything, I'll put curtains together with the drop cloth that I bought, at which point I'll decide whether or not I want to do a curtain on the other side. I'm not doing a frame for that one. I can't do a frame for the other window. Let me show you why. So the other window's got the same problem. You see the little dip here, but it's not as bad. But this is the original window, and it's a metal window, and it opens up this way as a swing, not sideways like the other window. So if I put a frame on it, it's actually going to stop me from opening it, and that leads to the crawl space underneath the kitchen addition. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's not that ugly. If I put a curtain in front of it, not in front of it, but you know, on both sides, and maybe a little valance, it would look a little bit better, even though I got this next to it. But again, this is a utility room with a utility sink and pipes everywhere, so I'm very limited in terms of DIY options here that do not involve ripping walls or sheetrocking and whatnot. So let me get started. I'm just using a regular sanding block, to which I added another piece of sanding paper, and this is a fine grit. This is 100, so it's relatively fine, and all I'm doing is in little circles like this. I'm just going to remove most of the caulk I put on to smooth it out. That's it. This is a primer for all surface. It's water-based, interior and exterior. Bullseye 1, 2, 3. I think it's by Pilsner. I'm not sure, but anyway, this is it. I'm going to put the bucket in the sink, so that way I don't have stuff, you know, getting on my new floor. And I have a small roller that's going to be for the flat surface, and a small brush like this. These are the cheaper one use only, get rid of them afterwards. brushes you can get at the Home Depot. I think they are 49 cents a piece or something like that. So I transferred my paint to this little, whatever you call it. And it's really practical to have those because I tend to have to, you know, move back down, move back up. You know, it's when you have those big trays, the little ones I really like, especially for little projects like this. That's really all I need. So I'm just going to do the insides first. One coat of primer, that's probably what I'm going to do. And then the rest I'll do with the regular latex paint that I have. Wait for it. I know it looks like an insane project, totally useless, but wait for it. I have a vision. I'm insane, am I not? I'm insane. Maybe I shouldn't have left a spot in between those two. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. The curtain's going to be in front of it. It's very early in the morning, by the way. I think it's like 7:30. Not bad, right? I got up really early to do this. Because I want it to dry and I want to be able to do the curtains today and move on to something else next week. Okay, so this is the part that I did not paint yet, well obviously, and this is one coat, just one coat. So you see what I mean? It kind of starts to blend in now. Let me finish this, and then when it's done I'll show you the final result. Okay, I'm done. So here we go. It's got 3 coats actually, because I want to make sure it stays on nice, and you can barely see that there's a frame added to it. Well, you can, you gotta, you know, at first glance you don't. Let's just put it that way. So it works. I like it. It's basically what I wanted to hide the ugliness of those windows. So I'm gonna take a break, and when I come back, pull out the fabric and make curtains. So I have rods that are a dark color because I'm trying to go for that rustic farmhouse kind of look, primitive look. So I'll do that. I'll install that first and then measure and everything. Well, you know, alright, you'll get to it. We'll get to it soon. But anyway, so you know what I'm talking about. I got to measure, hang the rod, and then put the curtains. And I have some lace I may use with the drop cloth. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, so we'll figure it out when we get there. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I know the lighting is awful. I'm ready to make curtains, so let me show you what I got in mind. There's 2 things that I have that are vintage, and by vintage I mean they're my mom's, and she's had them for you name how many years, I don't know. And she brought them to me years ago, and I didn't know what to do with them, but I got an idea. So now this here is drop cloth. It's what painters use to put on furniture and on the floor when they're painting. But a lot of people use it to make curtains with. And you can upholster with that as well. It gives that deconstructed kind of look, that's very farmhouse looking. Okay, so if I do, well, not if, I'm using this for curtains. Alright, so this is what it would look like. I'm giving you just a quick look, okay? You see that? Alright, so it blends in, it's not over the top and all of that. So that's that. But then I was thinking, on the top, let me see if I can put this this way so you get an idea, right? Okay, so very preliminary, I'm just trying to show you. Okay, I have this that my mom gave me years and years and years ago. Okay, can you see it? Right. So I was thinking I could do a valance with this. Let me see. I gotta fold it proper because I don't want it to be too long. Okay, so it would give this look, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. The only thing is that I only have one track, so I have to figure out a way on how to attach this and this on the same track, but I'm pretty sure I'll figure it out. Okay, so first things first, I gotta measure and figure out how long I want the curtain. What you're hearing is the water from the bathroom upstairs. It's bad timing. Anyway, so I don't want to have them stop here. I think I'm going to have them go all the way down here. So that way they're going to hide the pipes a little bit, and it's going to give the window a little bit more of a homey feel. Otherwise it just looks cheap if they're very, very short. So I'm going to measure from here to just about here, but I got to see something first. I don't know, and one of you had, let me see if I can have better lighting. Okay, so one of you had a brilliant idea, was to put the curtain rod on the ceiling rather than on the frame. So I have to see if I can do that. If I have curtain rod holders or holes, then I'll do that. If they're just the hooks, I can't do it. Well, I don't know. Let's figure it out. So no, they're not. They're half moon. So if I put them this way, it's really not going to hold the curtain. It could, but I don't know. If I put it this way, it's definitely going to hold it. But good news, I found this in my stash. And these are the cheapo kind that you use for, you know, curtains. And I just went this way. And this is shorter than the white one. So that means that I can actually use this for the valance and this for the regular curtains. So let's do that. I'm going to cut the curtains first. I got to measure them and then cut them, and then we'll get straight to the machine. Okay, so I'm in luck today because this is one of my quilting rulers, and guess what? It's exactly the length I need. Who would have thought? This is this is 24. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do 24. We're going to add 2. We're going to make it 26. All right. So let's just grab this. And we're going to cut 26 through the whole length. Then I'm going to have to iron them. So I'm going to remove this because that's going to be for the rod. Okay, here is the length. Alright, I'm not covering the whole pipe because, you know, I just can't. There's the heater underneath it. I don't want the heat to go behind the curtains. It's not going to be the full thing, but you get the point, right? So I'm just going to do a little bit here of a hem, just enough for the rod to go through. And then here I'm doing a very, very short hem as well. And I'm going to move this a little bit like that. Okay. This is a Brother HC1850. It was my birthday gift and I love it. Can you see some of the stuff behind here? That's the quilt I'm working on for my sister. It's from the Pat Sloan quilt along with Pat Sloan. Okay, so this is the middle one. Is there a front? Is there a back? It doesn't really matter. We're gonna do this here. Okay. Very, very small hem. I'm talking half an inch, if even that. Okay. So I want a zigzag. Number 4. Okay. And I'm gonna put it at 2. So I'm using a zigzag because the fabric frays a lot. You see that? Okay, and that's what it looks like in the back. Hold on. Yeah, let me get a longer piece of fabric so you can see better. Okay. Maybe you can see now. Okay, you see the zigzag on it? Yeah, right? I like that better than just a straight stitch. And of course, just when I'm trying to film, the furnace goes on. Okay, so I'm at the end here, and instead of going straight this way, which would leave me with this little gap right here, this is the bottom hem, by the way. Okay, what I'm gonna do is like do a full metered corner. You just fold it in a diagonal like this. See that? And then you just keep going. So what's gonna happen is that here it will keep going straight, but on the side, right, you won't see the angle, the right angle of the fabric. So this is the front of it, and this is what it looks like on the back. You see how I've folded this here a little bit at the diagonal to make somewhat of a metered corner? That allows you, when the curtain is falling, right, and you're looking on the edges, you don't have this loop right here with a hole, right? It just falls a little bit better. It's gonna end up like this. I don't know if I'm making sense, but anyway, if you can, just do one of those corners instead of a regular straight corner. So this is the top, these are the sides, and this with the metered corner here is the bottom. All right, so on the top, what I need to do now is the little loop big enough for the rod. Okay, and I've already calculated it. I need just about this much. That's it for the rod. So this is what it looks like, right? I have to fix the left side over there. Don't know if you have enough light. Let me see if I can give you more light here. Maybe it does. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix the one over there because I want it to go behind the pipe, but otherwise I think it looks pretty good. I don't know, what do you think? It definitely dresses the window a little bit. Let me pull out. You probably will see better if there was no, oh yeah, what a difference. If there was no light outside, they look straight. Yeah, okay, so let me fuss around with them a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, done. So, that's the middle part. So what I did over there is that I removed part of the curtain off the rod. And whatever I had, I gathered. I don't know if you can see me, get closer. I gathered, right, and I just tacked it on the rest of the board with just one tack. Okay, so that allows me, that I need to pleat it a little bit more, but that allows me to have the curtain go all the way in the back. So that's what it looks like. See how it's a little bit more finished, but otherwise, yep, it's done. So now I have to sit and ponder for a while as to whether or not I want to do the lace on the top, but it's definitely a much better look. I don't know if it shows on camera, but in person it's looking pretty darn good. So this is a prime example where I have a good idea, well, at least for me, a good idea, and then I just can't do it because I don't have enough of the fabric. Let's check it out. So I just put the lace on top. I just kind of folded it. I just folded it over the rod. And I like the way it looks very much. However, I'm missing about a foot. So yeah, it's not gonna work out. So I have to come up with plan B, because I like the idea of having a valance. So let me see what it would look like if I was doing a valance with the same drop cloth, like kind of like a ruffle, and see if it would look pretty neat. I'll be right back. Okay, so sometimes you gotta know when to stop. I was thinking about the top. You know what? Leave it like that. It's just, I like the lace a lot, but I don't have enough of it. So unless I go to Joann's at some point and find something very similar, which I may do, then I'll do that. But until then, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I was thinking about putting some garlands of, you know, berry garlands, those primitive looking berry garlands, because you don't know that yet. If you look at the window right here, what I plan on doing is getting wire baskets. Very narrow, not deep, narrow baskets that you can hang on the wall so that I can put some decorative items in there. So if I have something on the top and something on the bottom, maybe it's going to be too much. I don't know. But in the meantime, you see this? That's the, if you follow me on Facebook, you know about it. And you've probably seen it in videos anyway. I bought this for, I can't remember, $6 I think at the thrift shop. And I think it looks really good here, except that it's not to the wall right now. I've got it shimmied up because I got to get the right hooks for it. But let me show you what it looks like. I think it fills up the wall pretty nicely. It gives, you know, it's finishing the decor, I guess, because otherwise I have the concrete wall on the other side, and it's like you see it, but you don't really see the pipe. I don't know if that makes sense, right? You look at it and then you see the pipe rather than just seeing the pipe and then the wall with an empty space. So I'm going to leave that here, and here are the curtains. So what I'm going to do is pack up all my stuff, clean up, and I'm going to make a quick trip to Goodwill because the Goodwill challenge is upcoming, and that's for the $5 Goodwill challenge that's issued by Hillary from Old Word Home. I think she changed the name of the channel. And I want to do it this year, so I gotta go to Goodwill before they close, find something under $5. It's gonna be a video coming up sometimes this week or next week, I don't know. And then if I find something that I can use in here, I'll do that. But I love it. I mean, I love it. It's much better than what I had before. It serves zero purpose. I'm totally clear on that. I built this frame just for the purpose of not showing the ugly windows I'm going to insert before right here so you can see what I'm talking about. I really only built this for the purpose of not saying this anymore. I wanted to be able to walk in and make the room look more like a room, not a basement room. Does that make sense? Anyway, so give me a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner. I like it. I think it fits the room. It doesn't make it look smaller or bigger with the floor and everything else I'm going to do later on. It's going to really tie in pretty nicely. So just you wait. Now, am I going to do a curtain on the other side? I don't know. I may not. I got to think about it. So I will see you later. Thank you for watching, you guys. Bye.